enough lies about the war in Ukraine. This is what we will talk about today. Hello there, I'm Elena. Welcome back to my channel Enough of Propaganda. Let's make truth available for everyone. We have another nice day here in British Columbia, and today I want to talk about Ukraine. And what really made me angry and upset, that many Western countries, unfortunately, don't know much about the war in Ukraine. And that is why they are saying something which isn't appropriate. Like, for example, just recently, leader of Czech Republic, Petr Pavel, started to say something about, oh, Ukraine will have to give up some territories, this and that. This war is not about territories. If you need to know more about this, you're welcome to my channel. There are plenty of playlists explaining what happened, how it happened, about the war in Ukraine in 2014, and so on. This is clear and crystal clear. Ukraine is not fighting about territories. Yeah, I know that Ukrainian President Zelensky will propose some sort of a peace plan and this and that. But if Ukraine will propose anything of that kind, like giving up territories and this and that, it means that Ukraine didn't learn anything themselves, which I doubt they will do it. Why this war isn't about territories? It's because Putin attacked Ukraine in 2014. And it wasn't about taking Ukraine or taking territories. It was about Putin is building an empire. Putin wants to destroy Ukraine as a stepping stone to go further. All the empires did the same thing. I told you in my previous video, Russian Empire, the USSR, many other empires. What they did, they captured territory, they grabbed people and forced them to capture another territory for them. So I agree with Professor Timothy Snyder, who is saying we should not be afraid of Ukrainian victory. We should be afraid if Ukraine will lose. And any reward for Putin for his aggressive wars is wrong. And it's not because it's fair that Ukraine will get all the territories back. It's not because that it is how it's supposed to be and it's moral and so on. Russia destroying and bombing Ukraine for over a decade. In the last almost 3 years, it was happening all the time. And for example, they just bombed Kharkiv, where my friends are living. And more civilians killed. They bombing civilian building and attacking. And if Russia will be rewarded for this kind of behavior, it's only going to continue. And it will embolden any other dictator in the world. When I was a child, and even now I'm a small woman, I'm a small person. When I was a child, I was even smaller and skinnier. And I have a story, my personal story, which explaining things a little bit. So one day I just went for a walk outside. I lived in Siberia at the time, which was in deep forest. There was no basically roads. At the time we had to fly there by helicopter with my parents, with my mom, because my father was already there. But this is not the point. When I went, it was dirt roads, big puddles and this and that. And some big guy who was older than me, the boy, pushed me right in the puddle on purpose. When I came home all wet and kind of almost in tears, my father said, go defend yourself. You're supposed to stand up for yourself. Go whack that guy in the nose by this part of your palm and make sure he's sorry for he offended you on purpose. And he is thinking that it's okay to be a bully and it's okay to attack a smaller person. Okay, I changed in my dry clothes. I came outside. I came to this boy. I had to jump, but I did reach his nose and make him bloody nose. Nobody ever attacked me ever since. Ever again. This is why. This is the way to deal with bullies. They don't understand anything else. And Mr. Snyder, Professor Snyder is right. Putin is not at the place where he's gonna negotiate peace. He will only negotiate peace when he really stuck in the corner, when he knows he's gonna lose. So far, Putin still believes he can win this war. especially his hope for Trump is coming into power, give him everything he wants, Ukraine on the silver platter or something like that. I hope this will not happen. But the point is, it does not matter how many territories Ukraine will give. Ukraine already have been there. Russia took Crimea. Russia wasn't punished for that. Russia took Chechnya. Russia wasn't punished for that. Russia took pieces of Georgia. Yeah, they're formally not Russian, but they are. And Russia wasn't punished for that. So Russia and Ukraine have been in that situation already. Russia took Crimea and wasn't punished for that. And Ukraine, for 8 years, was kind of frozen conflict, but still people were dying, the war was still going on. And what happened? It happened in 2022, Russia attacked them again. And Ukraine knows that this is what Russians' goal. I have a video which called Putin's original plan about Ukraine exposed, or something like that. They literally published the plan of genocide and exterminating of Ukraine. So right now, when the whole world and NATO are helping Ukraine and ready to help Ukraine, Ukraine should finish this war right, in a right way, by completely getting off. Russia is supposed to give up all the Ukrainian territories in the borders of 1991. Putin must lose. Otherwise, the lowlifes, like I just showed you in the video about Donbass and the separatist leaders and so on, I'll probably may attach a little piece of this video in the end of my video today, so you know what those lowlifes looks like. So when the criminal coming to your house, robbing your house, raping your family members, your wife, your daughter, they're afraid that they're gonna be caught and punished and put in jail. This is why they might not do it again. They might, but they will get caught, hopefully. But when they are not only not punished for that, nobody even looking for them, and in the end they get rewarded for that. Okay, you can keep nobody put you in jail for rape of the women, and you can keep everything you stole, but don't do it again. How do you think this is gonna work? It will work badly. And Ukraine knows that. And so knows the Baltic countries and everybody who lived with the border with Russia. I am a Russian citizen as well as Canadian, and I know that. So please don't talk about stupid nonsense that Ukraine is supposed to give up some sort of territories, that Putin have to save his face. It will not bring Ukraine peace, not lasting peace. It will bring another attack, because it happened before. I have a video about ceasefire. Why nobody should trust Russian ceasefire. Because it happened before. Many times Russia broke ceasefires. Many times Russia lied and killed Ukrainians, while Ukrainians did the ceasefire. So it's only stupid person could agree on another ceasefire with Russia ever again, because it's stupid. You will ceasefire and Russia will keep killing you. Ukraine is not stupid. Ukraine will not go for it. And we're supposed to support Ukraine, not until whatever it takes. The Western countries, and General Hodges is right about this, has to decide what do they want. If they want Ukraine to win, they help to Ukraine to win this war. And the sooner, the better. Because with every day, Ukrainian people are getting killed. Civilians or army people alike, because Ukraine didn't attack anyone. There is no reason why Russia is supposed to be rewarded for what it does to Ukraine. And there is no reason why it is okay to attack Ukrainian army. It's a genocide. It's a war, aggressive war on the Russian part. And it must stop. And the last thing I want to add. Who told you there's going to be peace? If Russia will keep some territories and have Ukrainians captured. Russia will do with the people on those occupied territories the same thing it always did. Torture, murder, rape, taking away their property, and so on. Exactly what Russia is doing right now in Mariupol and in other captured and occupied territories. We know that because we've seen it in Bucha, in Irpin, in Izum, everywhere. And what Russian Empire and USSR always did, they grabbed the people who were on these territories and making them fight other territories for Russia. They put the gun to Ukrainian heads and they will go and capture for Russia new territories, fighting their own Ukrainian people, their countrymen, exactly how people from so-called Donetsk and Lugansk people republics were doing right now. They will use this cannon fodder, and the same thing will gonna happen with new captured territories, if Russia will get any territories for out of this. This is what's gonna happen, because it happened before many times in Russian history, in Russian Empire, in the USSR, in Russia's aggressive wars in Chechnya. Now Chechen people fighting in Ukraine, not as much as Russia, like Ukrainians and some other from Donetsk and Lugansk People Republic, but they are. And this is exactly what's gonna happen. And Ukrainians wouldn't have a choice; they will have a gun to their head. And if Russia will capture the whole Ukraine, they will capture Ukrainian army, well-trained soldiers, and the Western equipment as well. And then they could go to Moldova, they could go to Baltic countries, they could go further. So the time to stop Russia is now. Time is an essence. This is what we need to do. We need to help Ukraine to stop Putin by any means necessary. Russian citizens alike should supposed to stop Putin and help stop Putin. And so is everybody else. Canada is doing their part, and I am doing my part to influencing Canadian politicians to help Ukraine. So please help me. Please help yourself, protect your democracy, and defend Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Learn the truth and stay informed. See you later. End of 2014, October, and Vice News came back to show some more characters from that so-called Donetsk People Republics. And you're welcome to see the guy who is looking after the checking the checkpoints and stuff like that. So this is what Russian bad guys look like. This is what any low life looks like. Welcome to see.
Ключи зачем придумывают? Чтобы их ломать. Правила зачем придумывают? Чтобы их нарушать. Какая работа новая? Плитку уложил. Я ж тебе говорил. А Сталин, по сути, он много очень хороших вещей сделал. Очень. А? А что, ты не видел? Какой он факт. Ах ты ж сука. Обойма здесь. Обойму я выложил, да?
So he was putting tiles on the wall in the past, but now he's a big shot, and he's driving on the streets like Russians driving on their Mercedes, and thinking that they can bully everybody on the road, and somebody happened to show him a finger. So he took out a gun, and if he would have had a magazine, he would have killed the guy, or threatened him, just to enforce his rules. This is how Donetsk, so-called Donetsk and Lugansk People Republics lived all these years. That's why they was living such a garbage to compare how lived Kharkiv, how lived Mariupol, and other cities of Ukraine. Because these lowlifes, mafia bosses, get in power in those places and run them how they want it.